What is up, guys? WrestlingsPremier is here. Okay, night 2 of WrestleMania. This one didn't seem to have that same feeling as night 1 did. I can attribute that to a few things. One, the first two matches weren't that exciting. They kind of deflated the audience in a way, and it took a bit for the crowd to regain some excitement. You know, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens came out, and the SHEAMUS thing, slowly building to the main event, so there's that. I did enjoy it, though. It was great to see the crowd once again. This night seems to drag down this WrestleMania overall in my eyes, but it's still good overall for me. Alright, enough talk. WrestleMania Night 2, let's get into it. I don't really get into detail with this stuff because we just watched it literally yesterday. And plus, that stuff is more reserved for my classic content due to the fact that I like going into detail with those. Once again, Hulk Hogan was booed. This time it was louder. Titus got some cheers in the beginning. And the first match on the show was The Fiend versus Randy Orton. So I was thinking to myself, he was gonna come out and get his ass beat. And that was it. He donned white for the first time in probably ever. I honestly don't remember the last time Randy Orton wore white, whether it be the Legend Killer or the Viper character. I don't remember a single moment. The Fiend came out of this Jack in the Box, and the action itself wasn't good. I obviously knew that heading into this one, though. Bray reverted to his previous self like nothing happened, and the match goes down. Red lighting, which I don't understand, was there, and I just don't get it. Is there something special with the light? The finish saw Alexa Bliss bleeding, I guess? I'm under the assumption she's bleeding, whatever that is that's pouring down her face. Bray's distracted, and boom, RKO. All it took was one RKO for Orton to win it, and I was just shocked. It was bizarre. I thought it was the Fiend's match to win. He was set on fire. Lost to him 4 years ago, yet took the L again at WrestleMania. Personally, I'm just speaking for myself. I just haven't been invested in the Fiend since February of last year. Orton winning was a shocker, but we did see Fiend lose like this in the past, against Goldberg, who I assume wasn't scared of him. I don't know. Maybe Orton wasn't scared of him, and that's how he won it. The key to winning it is to not be scared of the Fiend. It's unknown where the hell they go from here on. Probably related to Sister Abigail or something. But yeah, the match is weak. Payoff got the fans booing, and it set the stage for the night. I honestly hope Orton moves on from this feud. And as for Bray, don't know how they'll do the story with Bliss, but whatever. At one point, the lights went out, and I thought the Fiend would revert into Bray or something, but that didn't happen at all. And yeah, like I said, I didn't like this match. The story, I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to it, but we'll give him a chance. They'll probably let us down in the end, though. Tamina and Natalya challenged Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Okay, this happened, I guess. I wasn't interested in the match, but it was decent. Champs worked on Natalya's ankle, isolating her, and I wasn't looking forward to this so early in the show. Once I heard Natalya's music played, I was like, no, this early? Tamina body slammed her relative. This spot was kind of dumb. I don't get why the hell they stood there for 20 seconds. But yeah, it wasn't exactly a bad match. I just think it should have happened later. The fact that Tamina and Natalya didn't win the titles also was odd, and I'm not interested in seeing those two keep the belts and face another tag team formed on WWE.com. Yeah, decent match. Tamina and Natalya should have won it if they were going to come all the way here. The next match, finally some positivity, saw Sami Zayn face Kevin Owens. Finally this one. These two have had a long and storied history. On and off, they've feuded for almost 2 decades now. They're destined to feud forever, and this one was built on an assumption from Sami that WWE was conspiring against him. Then there's Logan Paul. If you would have told me that he is going to be involved in this story at WrestleMania in 2016 or 17, I would have brushed it off. Conspiracy Sammy, superb. I'm always loving the segments, the character work, but if he was to turn face in the near future, I wouldn't be mad. And just hearing the crowd sing along to his song, it's been a long time. The pop Owens got when his music played was once again a special moment, and the action itself was very good. The problem is the match was just getting started. It was heating up, but it ended. There was a couple of callbacks, near falls, and even though I had Owens winning it, at one point I thought Conspiracy Sammy was going to go all the way after hitting those exploder suplexes, but it wasn't to be, and KO hit the stunner to win it. Logan Paul then enters the ring, praises Owens, causing Sami to go off the deep end and shout at him, stating that Owens is the enemy. He shoves Zayn before raising the winner's hand, and his reaction is that of pure disgust. And so he stunned Logan, who sold it much better than Vince did in '97. The front flip got my ass laughing. It was hilarious. Never thought it'd happen, but it did. Match itself was very good, but had they gotten more time, it would be a classic. Meanwhile, Riddle met up with Khali and RVD, who gave him some rolling paper. Riddle was flying high, he was champion, he was winning matches, he was doing very well. He was set to face SHEAMUS, who was donning the exact same attire he did at WrestleMania 28, which kind of convinced me that this was ending quick. But I'm glad they actually had a match because it was pretty damn good. It was hard-hitting, impressive athleticism by Riddle with a top rope belly-to-belly, some springboards, and just thinking about it, it's great to see Sheamus on top after nearly going out due to his injuries. There's a real worry there that he was done, but I'm glad that wasn't the case. There was this buckshot attempt from Riddle that led to a hard knee, and I thought that was a brogue kick, but upon further inspection, it was just a knee. I really thought that was the spot to end it. Then Riddle rebounded with a German on the apron. Very stellar stuff, and it's either this or the KO match that was the best up to this point. And that ending, it was simply put WrestleMania worthy. Sheamus just busted him up like that to steal the title. Wow. Another very good match. They delivered and then some. Looking forward to Sheamus' title run. Farewell to Bad Bunny. I legit thought he was going to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match, though. I assume he'll probably make a couple of appearances here and there because he's an actual fan, you know. He had an impressive performance, and additional props go to The Miz and Johnny Drip Drip. They made him look like $1,000,000, and I still can't believe this guy hit a Falcon Arrow and a Canadian Destroyer. The next match is for the Intercontinental Championship. Big E defends against Apollo Crews in a Nigerian drum fight. I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm starting to like Apollo more for his character than his wrestling skills, and it just shows that you can escape from catering. It took him 4.5 years, but he finally did it. Big E looked like a superstar with Wale performing or lip-syncing the song. Big E had home field advantage, but Apollo, I assume, was well-trained in this match. Kayfabe, of course. But anyways, this was more of a kendo stick fight rather than a drum fight, and come to think about it, I don't think they even used the drum at all. Big E once again went all out with the spear through the ropes. Looked very rough on Apollo. He bounced back by bouncing Big E off the apron, and then the best or most painful spot occurred. So Crews tried throwing steps onto the champ, but ended up receiving a Uranagi onto the steps, and by the looks of it, Apollo was either injured or he sold well. I'm not sure. In the ring, he misses a splash through the table, and Big E hits the ending. I thought that was it. No way he kicks out, but then the face of Raw Underground comes in and destroys Big E, costing him the title. What in the golden era is going on? That's what some say, and I agree. This is straight out of the golden era for sure. Like a big heel comes in, destroys the babyface. Match was getting good, but it ended quickly. I hope to see Big E ascend to the top. I think he has all the intangibles, but only time will tell. As for Apollo, I predict he'll feud with Rey Mysterio. Not sure though, that might be very out there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to his run. I hope he gets another lackey by his side, an additional big guy by his side. I think it'd be cool. Following this, the 2021 Hall of Fame class appeared. You know, RVD, Molly Holly, Kane, the Great Khali, and it's just so weird, in particular for me, to see RVD, Kane, and Khali. Like, these are the guys, I remember watching them on freaking Raw or SmackDown or whatever, and they're in the Hall of Fame. And Kane, this guy was on TV nearly every single week. He was wrestling every week. And just thinking about it, man, time flies. Eric Bischoff and Molly Holly's were much deserved, especially Bischoff because of the fact that this guy, he contributed to WCW becoming #1 back in 1996 and 1997. The next match saw Asuka defend the Raw Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. Weak build, but who cares, it's two talented women. That's what I thought before the match. Asuka's title run hasn't been the best, but she's finally in a major match at WrestleMania again. Both women throughout the match were very quick and elusive of one another. Rhea was the de facto heel. Some say she's actually a heel because of the attack she made on Asuka, and maybe she is. It was a pretty slow match with her in control. You know, the pace was a bit different from anything that occurred previously. It took a while for Asuka to gain momentum. There was this nasty DDT off the apron, which almost got Asuka the W. Some mission exchanges in the ring. Asuka was pretty dominant during this juncture with the sleepers, arm bars, but Rhea just grabbed her and hit the Riptide to become the new champion like that. I'm gonna be honest, this match, I just wasn't that interested. It was decent, but when you see two talents like this, you expect something way more. You expect much more than this. And that's what I think about this match, but I'm loving how different things are now. You know, Belair, Ripley, Crews as champions. Things are so damn different. And as for Asuka, I hope they build her up again because she's one of the best WWE has to offer. But yeah, congratulations to Rhea Ripley. I believe the length of the match actually hurt it. And if they were given more time, I'm certain they would have had a much better match. But still, it was better than decent. But like I said, we see two talent like this, you expect something way more than what we just saw. Afterwards, Hogan and Titus once again came out, and this is when Bayley had enough of this WrestleMania hosting. The Bellas come out, and Bayley references John Cena in the best way possible. She's like, John Cena isn't here, and she proceeded to slap the hell out of her. Crowd booed, and Bayley, she honestly deserved a much bigger spot here in WrestleMania. Just some sort of segment, some interview or whatever would have been enough. Something like that would have been enough due to the fact that she had such a great run, and I just think it's a shame that the Bellas had to come out and beat her up. If anything, she should have whooped their asses. And the main event, Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against Edge and Daniel Bryan. Whoa. This is the one everyone's waited for. All three men are heelish. Two of those men, the challengers, were somewhat paranoid that this could be their last opportunity to win it, and so they were gonna go all in. They were ready to do whatever it takes to win that title, even if it means destroying the other guy's neck. Edge received a tremendous reception from the crowd. Roman made everyone wait and had a 10-minute extravagant entrance. Bryan, by the sounds of it, was booed. And if you showed somebody this image back in 2016, they'd think it was a fake. Why? Roman's a heel. Bryan and Edge are back. Add to that, Bryan's in the main event again. But yeah, it's so incredible to see these guys. They suffered some setbacks, but managed to make it back to the main event of WrestleMania. I don't think anybody expected them to have one main event, let alone two, so there's that. Edge, once again, 10 years to the day, this is the perfect moment for him to shine. Okay, Roman took early control. Jey Uso provided some backup on the outside, attacking both challengers. Edge was overly aggressive, slamming Roman's head into the post and the apron several times. He was already showing that fury. Hell, even hit the execution of Jey Uso on top of the steel steps. Bryan and Edge proceeded to have a mini match. Reigns comes in and Bryan's the smart one. But he learned that high risk is just that. It was some fun stuff, and it's about damn time that Roman is booed for the right reasons. Like, I just loved seeing the fans boom, and he gets all angry because of the fact that they're not acknowledging him as the head of the table. Back and forth action between both men, signature moves, and at one point they speared each other, and the crowd was so damn into it. Bryan comes in, hits those kicks, even executed the knee on Edge. Hell, he even got Roman in the yes lock, but Edge made the save. He gets locked in instead, but Roman proceeded to cause destruction, and this culminates in Bryan going through the announce table, when all of a sudden Edge comes in with a spear. Following this, he fights with Roman inside the ring, crossface, also used a piece of the steel chair, and Bryan comes in with a yes lock. Edge gets angry, headbutt. Bryan goes insane before Edge comes in with two spears, but he desperately pulls the ref out of the ring. Edge looked very paranoid at this point. He sort of reminded me of Austin in WrestleMania 17, and so he concertoed Bryan when Jey Uso runs in. He gets assaulted, Roman hits the spear and concertos him before covering both men. That was so damn emphatic. It showed that Roman was no joke. It was essentially a monster heel, and I didn't expect the match to end like this. As the match went on, I thought it was Edge's match to win. I thought Edge was going to win that title here. But yeah, it certainly caught me off guard, and some people didn't like Jey Uso's interference. It's because of the fact that Roman, nearly every title defense, Jey Uso one way or another interferes. I get it. Roman looked absolutely intense out there. It was an incredible performance from both men. My favorite match of the night by far. And that ending, like, for a split second, I legit thought Roman was going to give Edge the victory and walk out. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But yeah, that was some super Roman-esque stuff there. And because of that, I kind of expected Brock Lesnar to return at the end. That clearly didn't happen, but whatever. Great match. I think it was more likely of Edge or Daniel Bryan to win it rather than Roman, so there's that. Now, where does he go from here on? This is hard to tell. I assume Edge and Daniel are going to face off at Backlash, which leaves Roman all alone. He ain't going to face Kevin Owens. He ain't going to face Jey Uso, so who's going to step up? It's very hard to say. There's Cesaro, there's Big E, but those two are probably more fitting for the summer. We'll see. I mean, you never know. Maybe Finn Balor will return and face him. I think that would be an incredible story, an incredible match, but I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. But yeah, head of the table. His run continues. I don't think he's going to make it to WrestleMania 38. I think it's going to end at SummerSlam. That's what I think. I think Big E's going to be the one to dethrone him. So there's that. Okay, that's WrestleMania 37. I really had an issue with a bunch of the matches. You know, they were too short. They didn't kick into high gear. Especially Big E versus Apollo. That was starting to get really good, and I was enjoying it, but they ended it just like that. KO and Sammy, once again, that match, they should have gotten a bit more time. You know, they should have cut some time off the tag title match thing from earlier on and gave it to these guys, because they would have put on a 4-star classic. I like this WrestleMania, but it was certainly weaker than Night 1. I enjoyed both shows. Night 1's pretty much better, but Night 2 wasn't too shabby itself. The booking and the pacing of some of the matches, that was the problem for this show. So yeah, my favorite match was definitely Roman Reigns versus Edge and Daniel Bryan. Least favorite, Wyatt and Randy Orton. I don't know where they're going with that, but I'll keep one eye on it, so there's that. What did you guys think of WrestleMania 37? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit a RKO on the like button, and perhaps a spear on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.